Hey, a lot of people are reaching out to me about the comic book room here and what we're doing to improve it to make it better. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's definitely a work in progress and it's going to take a few months. But I can show you where we are. I'm going to give a tour. And a lot of you guys have seen this, but there's a little bit of changes that we've done here so far. And before we start, I definitely want to thank the sponsors to the YouTube channel Reggie Collects, Comic Book Room Makeover. There was Ready Set Collect. They sent me Mylar bags, MI Piets. They also sent stickets where I could close bags, and they're nice because they're reusable. I want to thank comicbookpriceguide.com. They gave me a year gold membership. Plus, they sent a few comics. That was extremely nice. Collector mount, they sent me a slew of comic book mounts for CGC, and I'll show you some of those I'm using. And also the collector's resource, which sent, again, some incredible CGC and raw comic book mounts. And you guys will get to see some of those. Not much has changed here. This is the dresser that I use for a lot of my supplies. Over here, you can see these comics, these CGC slabs that I have in the back. Now, those are the the comic mounts, and those things look sharp as could be. Now, this is, we were able to, part of the prize was there was a gift card to Home Depot. Well, we built these drawers, and there's 4 cabinets. And this, if you don't know, this looks like one piece. But it's just like this. It's there's 4 cabinets here and they're stacked on top of each other. And there are 4 drawers in each cabinet. Now the one thing is I don't have the handle put on yet. I literally bought out a Home Depot did not sell. I have one right here. They did not sell drawer handles like this where I could screw from the front. See, there's no way to mount this from the back. And anyhow, I went to a local hardware store and bought them out. So anyhow, I have to go, I think it's on Thursday to get them because that's when their supply comes in. But I'll put the drawer handles on here, I'll just screw it on, just like this. And then it'll pull right out. Now this, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but this is a nice addition. More things here. I got down here some long boxes. I have a couple long boxes over here yet that you can see, and there's some short boxes, but honestly the short boxes are full of supplies, not so much comics. This one up here, this is one of the comics that Comic Price Guide sent. Beautiful, excellent comic, first appearance of Bloodshot. But anyhow, these comics, eventually I want to get them all off the floor because I want to have enough of these cabinets built. Right now there's 4 here, 1 here for 5. I want to build 7 more for a total of 12. And by the dimensions of this room, I can fit 3 rows, 4 high, between the door and this door to an access storage area back there. But these mounts, I don't have them hung up right now, and I'll explain why, but these were sent by Collector's Resource. If you look at these comics, Ready Set Collect, they sent the Mylar bags, and they make these. Actually, I don't have this is the one I don't have a Mylar bag for. It's a magazine size comic, but the rest of them, I have Mylar bags, and they just make them look sharp. So I love the Mylar bags that cover your CGC. Anyhow, the reason I don't have these mounts hung up is because if you look at this room, just like this room is an attic, just like almost every house in Western Pennsylvania, maybe it's Northeast United States, it was just people didn't finish attics. And I'm shocked because there's actually drywall on here and there is insulation behind it, but it's just, in the 1950s they sold drywall, sheetrock with brown paper on it. So it almost looks like it's a shed in here. But I am going to cover these walls. I'm going to finish them. I'm probably going to do shiplap or something similar along the sides and probably even the ceiling. Other things that I need to prove in this room, like if you see, if I come back here, it gets pretty dark. There is only one light in this room, and I actually have to pull the old cord in order to get that one light to work. There's not even a switch in here. So I'm going to do some electrical work, and I'm going to put, oh gosh, recessed lighting. Forgive me, couldn't think of what it's called for a second. I'm going to put recessed lighting up top, and this room is 20 foot long. Try to figure out how to do it. Recessed lighting gives you 3 foot of coverage area. 20 foot, if I put 2.5, get 6 divided by 3, that would be 15. So yeah, okay, I can get 6 of them evenly spaced down here. Don't mind that, I think it just had a rain man moment. I was doing mental math in my head. But I was figuring out, if I do 6 recessed lighting, I can get that done. There's one outlet in this room. So I'm gonna run new electricity in this room, and I'm gonna put 4 outlets. Yeah, it's an old outlet. Honestly, I think it works. I don't know. But we'll find that out, okay? Or either way, I'm gonna replace it. Just get rid of the wire, take that out of the breaker. And then I'm gonna put switch in here with a dimmer switch for the lighting. I don't know, I'm going back and forth. I am going to, eventually these books won't be on here, because this table right here, I have some magazine size short boxes in here, but this table's gonna go away. This was an old table, I don't even know why I built it, but I figured it would work out nicely up in this old room. And then I just ended up bringing my comics here, and the table stayed here, and so did the comics. Or, you know, the comics ended up coming in. Eventually, these won't be here. And I am going to start pressing comics. There's enough people that I'm watching how they're doing it. Reggie's one. Wayne is another YouTube channel, Squirrel Madness, that I follow. He's been pressing. And people are motivating me to do this. So I think I'm going to put a pressing station right in here so that I can, you know, moisturize them and get a press. That's probably going to come around this summer, but and then I'm going to need a new floor. This floor was just never finished. I mean, like I said, this is an old attic, and I turned it into livable space, but this was just never livable space before now. So anyhow, let's get back to this. Now, there are some things that I would like to do different, okay? Not a big thing. I did a money saving measure. Is I bought relatively cheap drawer slots. Eventually, if you come over here, you can get more light on it. Eventually, I'm going to buy the nice high-end ones on ball bearings where I can pull the whole drawer out. But if you look, I have room back here. Now, I can't necessarily put comics in here. I'd never be able to get them out because the comic box comes out to about here. So there's more room what there is. Now, the thing that I did is I made a low-tech solution to my problem here. This one I have a couple extra. I did. I made literally out of cardboard. I take, you know, the box that my pull list of comics comes in every month, and I just cut it up. Anyhow, I can put this in the back, and then I can put a piece of cardboard or an old preview magazine, and I can stack my comics up in there. And then I don't have to worry about that space in the very back, which for the most part is what I've done. Yeah, right here you can see it. I have one back here, and I just put a piece of cardboard so that the comics don't bend. Now, and another really nice thing about this, I have them in alphabetical order. If you look, first comic was actually a number. It's a series that came out in the early 2000s. And then, honestly, there's so many amazing Spider-Mans. I think it comes up 7 drawers, or, you know, for the most part, 7 drawers full of just amazing Spider-Man. It comes up to here. But, well, if you guys have any questions about how to build this or any dimensions that I have, just feel free to ask. One thing I do want to say, though, before we quit, I was going to say it earlier and I just forgot. This was just kind of, I saw some videos on YouTube of people making cabinets, and there was one that it was pretty similar to this, not exactly. Everything you modify a little bit, but I tried to figure out dimensions where I could make this out of one sheet of 4x8 3/4 inch plywood, and also a 4x8 sheet of MDF board right here. It's a 1/2 inch. And so I can build one cabinet out of 2 sheets, you know, one of 3/4 inch plywood, 1.5 inch MDF. And that's enough wood material. There is acrylic sheets that you can cut to size to fit in here. And honestly, I just measured, figured out how big a comic book was, and there's enough room for a golden age comic book to fit into here. There's not enough room for a magazine size comic, and I have quite a bit of magazine size comics from the 70s and the 80s. And what I'll probably do is I have enough that one drawer will be able to fit all of them. I'll probably custom size one of these cabinets in order to fit those. I might also, because I have some CGCs, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get them all hung up like I want to, just because of the angle of the ceiling here. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get them all hung up, but I might build one of these cabinets for CGC specific, because I'm going to get more of these as time goes on. I mean, I'm going to be sending off some of my own books here, especially after I start pressing. But I think I've answered all the questions. All right, but I don't know. If you have any, please put your questions in the comments, and I'll try to get back with you. Thank you.